Danish Refugee Council and PRM are partnering to ensure refugees have an improved protective space during displacement and are able to increase their self-reliance within their host urban environments.
We are mainly looking into two objectives: to strengthen GBV prevention and response mechanisms for refugees in the urban area, as well as in the camps.
In Nairobi specifically, we target the urban refugees, people who have moved from their countries and are living in Nairobi, amongst Kenyans.
Both male and female SGBV survivors are confronted with severe stigma within their refugee communities.
We are as much as possible working on the whole issue of discrimination so that they are not discriminated based on their gender.
The situation is even starker for sexual minorities, the LGBTI community, who have no relief or acceptance in their communities or in the host countries.
And the reason why I had to leave my home country was because of my sexual orientation, being LGBTI.
The fact that they have they are LGBTIs doesn't make them any lesser human beings.
Now I'm really glad and really happy because of DRC. They have at least, ever since last year, they called me, they asked me how I'm moving, because they know, they care about me.
Life in Kenya was not any rosy either. With no job and no friends to start life, he found himself in a completely hard economic and social situation.
Well, it's not easy to associate with the people when they know what you want. They not happy with what I can say, almost they are homophobic.
A condition of being unwanted and forgotten soon crowded his mind. The state of despair and bottom-level self-esteem were the characteristics of descriptions of his life.
I had no any hope. So after a talk with one of the work madam at DRC, so by that time I started feeling okay, feeling at home. Life is not easy.
He says people always threaten to detain or deport them back to their country, and locals, after realizing their LGBTI status, either avoid or threaten them with dangerous violence, especially during the upcoming general election.
After the assessment, my case was handed to DRC. He called me. Then I had to go to the offices. We discussed a lot because by that time I was like, I had no any hope. So by that time I was like, I don't have any more life. But when I talked with the counselor, so okay, that stress was reduced. So I started love myself.
Apart from psycho support, PRM and DRC assisted him to get a house where he now lives.
Before I had nowhere to sleep, but now I have where I sleep. Though the house is small, but I'm comfortable with a place where I'm staying.
Refugees in Nairobi lack capacity to sustainably manage their finances and savings, which could help them meet their household needs.
It's the whole aspect of financial inclusion, or how they get access to finances that can help them not only set up a business, but also expand on the activities that they are doing in urban areas.
PRM and DRC help refugees run community savings and loans groups known as Village Savings and Loans Association (VSLA).
These groups have been identified by the CBTs or the village agents who work within the area. Once they were identified since last year, that is August 2016, they were trained on the VSLA methodology.
This is a community-managed financial methodology employed by DRC in different parts of Nairobi to assist refugees gain financial strength and knowledge in organized community groups.
After 3 months of the trainings, we usually recommend that the groups be taken through financial education training.
We've been trained on VSL methodologies. We've learned a lot about saving and how to manage our financial.
Refugees are encouraged to turn these savings they accumulate from these groups into self-reliant business establishments that would help them sustain their lives while living in these urban settings of Nairobi.
Coming up together, doing a lot of saving, but also being able to expand their businesses. And people who could no longer access resources for expanding businesses in Nairobi are now able to do that, courtesy of the support that we have given them through PRM.
As we do the business together, we'll know how to plan our financial, our income, and also the outcomes of the money that we'll get in the group.
PRM and DRC focus on assisting refugees use individual and group savings to realize their potential in small business establishments that will move them from over-reliance on aid to self-reliant refugees.
For this year, BPRM is also supporting us with grants to support groups, the VSL groups whose savings are below survival threshold.
In addition, our business skills development training to capacity build the groups on identifying viable business opportunities as well as tips on business planning and management was organized.
And the rationale of us to training the BDS is to enhance them to be able to generate business ideas for those who are not currently doing their businesses, and also to train the members who are doing businesses to be able to expand their knowledge in businesses.
Kwangu mimi nanifungua akili sana. Wakati tu nilipata ile formation ya training business, nikapata kitu kingi kinafunguka tena kwa akili.
Today, the refugees are taken through costing of their products to assist them in ensuring they get maximum profits from their products.
I've learned that you don't just do business and focus on the pricing of the goods that you're selling. You'll have to focus on the cost of the materials that you're using on your business and the transport and the expenses that you'll have to undergo.
Sababu ili kwanza costing unasema, wakati mimi nilikuwa nauza, nitakamata pesa ya huku na changa ya huku, nitakamata ya Star Soft na changa kwa Dettol, kamata ya Dettol na changa kwa shampoo, najikuta sijue kama pesa ya Dettol iko wapi, pesa ya shampoo iko wapi, lakini kupitia ile formation ya business niko najua sema hapa nita record.
I think they've helped us a lot about costing. It's something that I myself didn't know much about, but right now I can be able to manage my cost and my pricing.
Solomon Saliboko is a refugee from Congo. For his entire survival in Nairobi, he intends to make detergents and sell them to the community around Kawangware.
Sasa pesa yangu kwa kidogo. Wakati nipata formation ya VSLA, nilikuwa nachukua mkopo kwa VSLA at least na expand biashara yangu.
Solomon says with his savings and BDS training, he now understands several things about business. But his most identifiable change as a result of this training, he says, is how to identify his profits from different products he makes. In line with the Sustainable Development Goal number 4 that seeks to ensure equal access to education opportunities for all, DRC partners with PRM to ensure needy and bright refugees are given equal chances as they are members of the host communities where they are hosted.
In terms of their individual God-given talents, they have quite a bit of potential. A lot of them have very, very good potential. They have talent. They have things that they can do even to earn themselves an income. And all that they need is an opportunity.
By offering these refugees educational scholarship and other vocational training opportunities, DRC and PRM aim to build the capacity and self-reliance of refugees so as to reduce their vulnerability while in displacement.
As we develop this urge that a student has in terms of photography, in terms of music, in terms of visual art, then it gives them an upper arm to bring food on the table.
Member Rajab and his 3 refugees colleagues are learning photography and film in one of the Nairobi colleges under DRC and PRM scholarship program.
Then they called me to the interview. I went there to the interview. We did the interview there with them. Then they called me again to the chance. They told me, you have a chosen one. You got a chance to start your course. So it's the time now to reach your dreams.
Like many refugees, Membe arrived in Kenya as a child with only standard 4 education.
You know, in my country, I didn't get education there. I'm a class 4 there.
Adapting to the education system of Kenya was nearly impossible for him, since he neither had parents nor understood English, which is Kenyan official language of instruction in the learning institutions.
I didn't have a job, and I tried to find how I can go to school. I didn't get that chance.
With such enormous challenges, Membe cannot easily accommodate himself in the Kenyan formal education system.
Basically, help refugees acquire skills that can help them. Number one, when they are here in Kenya as refugees. But number two, equipping them with the skills that they can take away with them, even when they go back to their countries or they settle somewhere else.
Such practical courses like photography are essential for these refugees because it equips them with technical skills to be able to start their own businesses, as opposed to looking for jobs which are already too scarce in the Kenyan job market. Separately, PRM supports DRC to offer refugees with an opportunity to learn English. These English language learning classes are targeted especially to new arrivals.
It was very difficult for me to go to the market, to the supermarket, to buy something. That's why I decided to learn English, because it is very important for me.
Now, write. When we add ing, what will be the word? Writing.
Their DRC instructors take them through lessons in learning basics of English through reading, speaking, writing and comprehension.
I can communicate like now, because last year I was not able to communicate with you like now. But for now, I can greet you, I can speak a bit, not the whole, but I can speak a bit.
Many of these refugees are already making great progress in their classes and can speak English, and some of them too can write.
Our baby is sleeping.
Deep inside the sprawling Kayole settlements, DRC and PRM are training refugee children as trainers of trainers.
Teachers have been brought on board, and we've also had parents coming on board to deal with issues that affect students at the family level, and by extension they are seen to cascade at the school level.
The children are trained in order to train their peers in several thematic areas that confront refugee children in their day-to-day lives, mainly touching issues related to SGBV.
The main reason why we, for example, help children from a very early age appreciate, for example, the need to prevent gender-based violence is because we know children, once you have taught them something, number one, that becomes part of their life. And if you raise a child well, you are unlikely to have the same child subjecting later when they are old people to sexual and gender-based violence.
These children are the future of their countries that are conflict-ridden. Their responsibility and the future of peaceful countries lie squarely on their hands.
If you are finding your brother and your friend and another friend there are fighting, what can you do to solve that problem? Yes,
you must ask them what happened between of them, and after they telling you what happened, you must take an action of what you must do.
Training them on life skills and helping them to understand the need to prevent and respond to cases of GBV when they happen. It's because we believe that changes them, and in life they become better people when they have grown up. But more importantly, they are also able to influence their parents and the society within which they live.
Danish Refugee Council and PRM teach these children through mentorship the importance of understanding of the inevitable nature of conflicts and how to solve them without violence.
It makes you to make your life better.
By so doing, DRC and PRM believe the future of these children and their countries will be free of violence and will be the change that will bring a more peaceful and cohesive relationships in their countries when they choose to return.
Also, more importantly, through children, you also get to learn a lot that happens in the society because they live there, and as they articulate their issues, you can pick the environment, issues about the environment in which the children are being raised, and then you'll be able to address those issues.
Among the areas of mentorship that these children have been trained on and currently training other children include eradication and prevention of SGBV, self-esteem, communication, conflict resolutions, values, stress management, and decision making.
It's morning, he wakes up with a smile on his face, so excited for the day. Today's the morning and he knows that all the pain and the struggles are worth it.
In addition to the cognitive benefits of music and art, DRC and PRM believe the social and emotional benefits are numerous, even economic, making music and art an outlet for expressing feelings from the refugees and a way of earning a living.
And this is one key area where we are focusing with the assistance from PRM.
Making music and art an outlet for expressing feelings from the refugees and a way of earning a living. A young refugee musician may experience a flow of positive feeling state that may contribute to ongoing motivation to be involved in life-changing activities.
I went to boarding school and I felt I was lonely since I came from another country. Coming to meet new people was a bit hard, and not knowing Kiswahili was a bit hard. So it was a bit of my way of escaping things.
DRC and PRM would like to be the agent of positive change to the lives of these refugee youth who are not in school but are encouraged to develop their talents.
We put them under a mentorship program, attach them to a more experienced person or a trainer in turning tables. And then over a period of time, there is what you would call enhancement of that talent and even skills transfer.
She had bought all the tiny clothes and shoes, and she even made a room for her little baby.
Danish Refugee Council is not only giving the refugee chances to learn, but also members of the host communities.
Through this training, of course, I've gone away with a lot of contacts, and I'll still come back and call people whenever I need them. I started writing music because I'm not a very vocal person, and I found it easier to say what I feel through music than to stand and talk in front of people.
The youth are already recording and doing collaborations with other established artists and are expected to release their first ever records.
And from this training, I've been given the opportunity to come back and record with Artiv, which is a plus for me because recording in Nairobi is very expensive, and it's one of the issues upcoming artists have in their lives.
After I got the chance in DRC to do training for art, which was for 10 days, from what I knew in art, I got to learn more about the small basic skills that I was taught, which has bettered me.
And we are working very, very closely with other organizations like the Turning Tables here in Nairobi to help us identify that talent amongst the refugees.
Danish Refugee Council is helping the refugees create an important rapport with the would-be clients and important linkages that they would use to climb the pyramidal apex of their new careers by organizing exhibitions for them to showcase what they do.
During the training, I learned that that people can make a living out of art, and that it gave me a platform where I can be happy through my works, the work of my hands, and meeting other artists. It gave me hope that I can do better in my life.
In the urban refugee settings of Nairobi, where extremely high unemployment rates persist, there are limited opportunities available for refugees to fulfill their roles as breadwinners, either in the formal, informal employment or other income-generating activities. Coming from the background of a UNHCR market assessment that was done in 2015, PRM and Danish Refugee Council invited stakeholders to develop value chains that involve refugees.
The main aim of this workshop was to determine the value chains that we were going to work on as the urban partner.
DRC and PRM assist these refugees to improve their livelihoods by supporting their startups and improving them as necessary in order for them to be able to have businesses that can support their lives.
Training walikuwa wametuitia inaitwa Value Chain Development. Hivyo vile niliingia nilifurahia kwa sababu ilinionyesha vile kwa biashara ya mtu unaweza anza kitu na masaibu naweza kutana nayo.
The multi-agency workshop that also included refugees was supported by PRM and organized by DRC to look at various value chains that would go a long way in improving the current small business situations of refugees in Nairobi.
It is very important to involve refugees in any work, especially at programming level, because the eye with which they're able to look at issues or at proposals that we make is very important from the very beginning.
In small group settings, PRM and DRC guide the refugees through business development skills that include business plans, product development, product castings and market analysis, among other important ingredients of running a small business.
I think the word value chain has been mentioned so many times, but only during this workshop have I been able to look at a value chain as a process.
Sasa nimeona kuna kitu sikuwa naangalia, nikianza kununua masaibu nakutana nayo mpaka nifikie na ule nauzia. Kwa sasa nimeona ni hiyo chain yote na napitianga, sikukuwa naitilia manane. Kwa sasa nimeona ya kwamba ni lazima nayo nione vile naweza kuirekebisha.
Refugees in many occasions face serious challenges in accessing government business permits. Intimidation, lack of information and high fees keep refugees out of this.
While we support businesses, we seek out that the businesses that are supported are also adhering to the laws of business.
There is the donor in partnership with the DRC who are offering or supporting this program for us to get license.
Danish Refugee Council sensitizes the refugees through workshops on the government requirements and regulation.
They waste a lot of time trying to evade the county officers, locking up the businesses just because probably they did not have a license.
In view of this, PRM and Danish Refugee Council organized 10 meetings within Nairobi and its environments to sensitize the refugees on the important issue of business permits and regulations. Danish Refugee Council involves the refugees with other stakeholders, including county government officials, to help the refugees learn the processes and also help make the government officials understand the specific challenges that the refugees face.
I've seen that through promoting them with this has increased their level of earning. They open their businesses longer hours. We do not have confiscation of goods by the county officers once they go around, because they are in line with the laws that they are required to go to abide by.
After the community sensitization that involved 363 refugees in Nairobi, Danish Refugee Council and PRM identified 12 extremely needy refugees who were supported with business permits.
So it's crucial for us that we get to let every beneficiary understand that the rules of the land are very crucial, and we not only talk about it, but we also do it practically through issuance of the licenses.
I say thanks a lot to DRC in partnership with the PRM.